Hello and welcome to the September 23rd, 2013 meeting for the Mayor's Commission for Citizens with Disability meeting. I'd like to welcome all of our viewers at home. We do tape this meeting and replay it every Tuesday on Cox Channel 18. It's replayed Tuesday at 7 o'clock. So if you miss any exciting minutes or any exciting information of our meeting, make sure to DVR this and you'll catch it next time we're on. So. The purpose of the Mayor's Commission, just as a reminder, and it helps to keep us focused and grounded in what we do, our goal here is to promote the quality of life, accessibility, and equity in all aspects related to the City of Omaha on behalf of and in cooperation with the citizens of Omaha who experience disabilities. Some of the things that we are tasked to do, we advise the Mayor, the City Council, City Department heads, and other City of Omaha personnel on issues of access, representation, employment, housing, and quality of life affecting city citizens with disabilities and their respective families. We also serve as a resource for Omaha citizens with disabilities and their families to express concerns and resolutions regarding issues affecting them. Additionally, we're here to publicize to the citizens of Omaha the role of the Mayor's Commission for Citizens with Disabilities and the resources available to assist citizens with disabilities, employers, housing representatives, business owners, engineers and architects, and others who have a role in bettering the life of Omaha citizens. Some of the things that we've participated in the past include when TD Ameritrade Park was built, they did call on a number of members from our commission to just assist and take a look at the plans to tour through the new facility to ensure that there was accessibility for persons with mobility issues. There's also a system in place to help those who are hard of hearing. So a number of things that this commission can assist in, as well as when citizens of Omaha have issues or concerns. Certainly you can bring them to us and we'll help to elevate them to the mayor's office and work in any way we can to get a resolution to those issues. So there is information on the website under the City of Omaha and the mayor's office, and you actually have access to our email addresses, and certainly can send us a note or send the mayor's office a note, and we'll do our best to elevate those concerns. I didn't introduce myself. I apologize. My name is Mike Masker. I'm the chairperson for the Mayor's Commission for Citizens with Disabilities. I work at the Allegiant Creighton Health Emmanuel Rehabilitation Center, where I manage the therapy departments there, so I represent persons with physical disabilities on this commission. And we did have a pre-meeting. The fourth Monday of each month, our commission meets, and we have a pre-meeting. That meeting's from 3 until 3:30. Our minutes from our previous meeting, where we had a planning meeting, were Kathy motioned to approve and Mary seconded. Some of the things we discussed in our planning meeting, just to kind of bring you all up to date, we talked about the format of our monthly meetings. One of the things we've presented as an idea is bringing more, I think, public interest stories. Certainly there's been some stories in the news recently about persons with disabilities, things like the busing issue in Midtown with Dodge closing down to 2 lanes. There's also been some great stories about just some exciting things going on in the community. A couple weeks ago, there was a water skiing event for persons with disabilities that was sponsored by the Emmanuel Rehab Center. So there's a lot of exciting things going on. I think there was also a story about a young young gentleman with Down syndrome who was voted homecoming king, which I think is just fantastic. So I think the more awareness that we all can bring to persons with disabilities, and I think more importantly to their abilities and what is that spiritual fulfillment that folks are seeing in the community is so important. So as always, we have a speaker with us today, and we'll get to her in just a moment. Wanted to give an opportunity just to go around the room. We have a few members that are missing today, but wanted to give our members a chance to introduce themselves. Each member is also on a subcommittee and we'll give a brief update on those subcommittees and kind of go from there. But we'll start to my right with Amanda, and we'll go around the room.
Hi, my name is Amanda Vasquez, and I work for the Great Plains Chapter Paralyzed Veterans of America. I am on the website committee. We don't have any updates. The website should be up and running with all current information. I don't believe there is a direct link to it yet, so if you would like to visit the website, go to google.com and search Omaha Disabilities Commission. Should be the first link that pops up. It's housed under the Human Rights and Relations Department website. That's all I've got. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Kathy Mikulas. I'm a speech language pathologist, and currently I'm working at Allegiant Creighton Health at Home, which is the home health care aspect of Allegiant Creighton services. I represent people who have communication disorders and also provide assistance when asked for businesses and city employees who want guidance on interacting and communicating with persons who have speech or language communication disorders. I'm on the survey committee, and just to kind of review, the committee decided at a previous mayor's request, the committee decided to develop a survey of city employees' understanding and knowledge of interacting with people with different types of disabilities. So the survey was developed and revised a few times and has been sent on to the mayor's office, and then we believe will be used in conjunction with a PowerPoint presentation that the committee made to present to city employees related to their understanding of interacting with persons with disabilities. So the survey has been completed and has been sent on for use.
I'm Mary Angus. I'm a person with a mental illness, representing people with mental illness on this committee. Really wanted to comment on what you were saying about the young man that was named King. It was Geringer, is that his name?
Sounds right.
Yeah, Geringer. And his mother works at Ollie Webb Center, which is also the Arc of Omaha. Working on the Transportation Committee, we had a meeting last week, and we have gotten the bylaws all firmed up. We are currently working on all of the goals and objectives. We have 6 goals, which I will refrain from giving at this moment because they haven't been finalized, and then various objectives under that. I think we're doing a good job of putting a lot of work together. So the committee and the Coordinated Transportation Committee for the Metropolitan Area Planning Agency is called the Coordinated Transportation Committee, and is designed to work on job access and reverse commute. How do you like that? JARC, job access and reverse commute, and so we're working on that, and that's been ongoing. We're really making some steps, so I appreciate that ability to be on that and for the Mayor's Commission.
Yeah, Mary, in our pre-meeting we had discussed the recommendation on the Transportation Board to potentially have some end users who may have a disability involved. What kind of feedback, and is there any movement or any additional thoughts on that?
Well, anyone, and they don't have to have a disability, but anyone who is a user of public transportation and maybe a user of, say, some agencies' van transportation, paratransit, would be welcome on the committee. We're looking for one member. I have given a name yet, and that hasn't been solidified yet. But I think this committee would prefer that we have a person with a disability. But the committee is looking for a user of public transportation so that they can get, I'm sorry, but that helps when you have information from the people that are actually using the product. So.
Right. I think that it just speaks to really engaging the community and persons that are directly affected. So I think that's a great recommendation, and hopefully one they'll they'll continue to pursue.
Well, and I think at least a couple of us have heard comments from end users about the current state of public transportation in Omaha. I know it's going to take a lot of patience to get through this, but I think Dodge Street will be dramatically improved during that time. So bear with the city and bear with the city. We're going to improve the street, but it's going to make a mess of things for a while.
Yeah, definitely. And really, that's a very, I think, an apropos, maybe a transition. Again, my name is Mike Masker. I'm the chairperson for the Mayor's Commission for Citizens with Disabilities. And again, I work at the Allegiant Creighton Health Emmanuel Rehabilitation Center, where we provide a full continuum of therapy services, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and therapeutic recreation. One of the goals of this commission is to have a good part of our contingency or our membership. In fact, it's 50% of our membership made up of persons with disabilities. So we're currently reviewing applications for 2 individuals, and there's a couple more individuals that we're engaging in conversation to see if there's an interest or an opportunity to have them join us. We can have up to 14 members, and currently we have 7 full-time members. 3 today are unable to make it with us. Mark Smith, Michaela Williams, and Beth Ellsworth are all great members of this commission, and certainly this nucleus of folks have really helped to strengthen the mission and what we're doing here. But if you have an interest, if you have a disability or serve persons with disabilities and have an interest in applying for a position on our commission, that application is available on the mayor's website through the commissions tab, or you may contact the mayor's office and one can be emailed to you. To be considered for this commission, you just need to complete the application, attach a resume, and a letter of intent as to what you feel you could bring to the commission. So we are absolutely interested in strengthening our membership and the numbers, and really widening that, I guess, the approach and the viewpoint of the commission. So with that, each month, again, we have a speaker, and I'd like to invite Sherry up to the podium at this time. Sherry Bahinsky is a resource information specialist, and she'll be talking today about the hotline for disability services. So we're excited to have Sherry here, and we'd like to welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I thank the Commission for letting me come and talk to you today about our programs and services. I will start off with a short PowerPoint, and then I will go into our actual website where the public can actually use our information. I'll start mainly with the Hotline for Disability Services, and as you can see, we are located actually in Lincoln, Nebraska. We do serve the entire state, however. So our phone numbers, address are all located on this page. And then I'd kind of like to start out, when I take this presentation out to support groups or agencies, if anybody's heard of the Hotline for Disability Services or has used the hotline. A few. So that's kind of like why we want to get out and do this, just because some people have heard of it, some people haven't, and we want to make sure that people are receiving this information if they want it. Some information that you actually may find helpful. We actually have been around since 1975, so been around several years. Services have remained the same. And it's a federally funded program through the Client Assistance Program, which Vicki Rasmussen is the director of both the Client Assistance Program and the Hotline for Disability Services. And then as far as what we actually do, we are information and referral. One of the charges of the Client Assistance Program is to provide information and referral. So each state has a Client Assistance Program. We happen to now have the Hotline for Disability Services. And it's for anybody that has a question or concern relating to a disability. And we don't actually have the direct services, for example, the transportation, the housing, the financial assistance, but we really work to try to find the resources that will best benefit them. And if we don't have an agency listed in our directory that we use, we can always research to make sure, maybe there isn't something else out there that could help them. And we can advocate, too, by making phone calls for the individuals if they need that. Sometimes they've called 10 different agencies, been denied services, and are frustrated and need some help. Maybe they're not asking the right questions, or, they just need that extra third-party involvement. So we can do that, too. And then as far as who can use the hotline, the people with the disabilities themselves call in. We have the families and friends, and actual service providers, too. And don't ever hesitate to call. No question is silly. It will. And then as far as the areas of the state that the hotline serves, we feel we're pretty unique. We do serve the entire state of Nebraska, so we're not limited to a small area or city. And like I said, our resources do cover the entire state. And there's a toll-free number that is available nationwide. So if somebody is living in another state, but they maybe have parents here, or they're wanting to move to Nebraska, they can sure call too. And then as far as the resource directory that we use, it's a database of over 1,400 different agencies, programs, and services. And we review those on an 8-month cycle. So every month we have a couple hundred agencies that we call, check the website to make sure they're up to date. So you can feel pretty confident that they're as up to date as they can be. A lot of times support groups change quite often, but we really work to make sure it is up to date. And we can add, delete, update information anytime. So if anybody's ever on the website, they notice something's incorrect, not right, we can, and I will show you this, you can actually put in a correction and we can get that updated. And then I will show you too, it will have the agency names, numbers, contact people, office hours, disability served, counties, eligibility requirements, and that. And some of the different searches that people can look at is counseling, recreational services, financial assistance, whether it be for medications, transportation, medical services, housing issues. That will be on there. Medical services, transportation, and assistive technology. And there's many more, but that's a few. And then anybody can access the directory. It's at www.cap.ne.gov. And I will go into this, but you will search the hotline for disability services. And then people can view it at their own leisure if they don't want to call in, or they're calling after hours, whatever. They can kind of look at their own leisure, which is kind of nice for some people. And then our hours actually are 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. So if we happen to be on the phone, talking, whatever, voicemail is also available, and we'll give them called back as soon as possible. And then, of course, there is not any fees. It's all free of charge. And now that's the end of the PowerPoint. I will go into the website now. Let's see. And show you how you can actually access, access our information. Now here is the website, the main Client Assistance Program website. It'll give you some more information about the Client Assistance Program. Up at the top you can search the hotline for disability services, or you can scroll down as you're looking at your information, and then there'll be some information about the hotline, and you can also search here as well. So if you click on that, you get into the hotline directory, and you can either search, if you know the name of the agency you're looking for, say you just need a phone number, or want to know their hours, whatever, you can type that in, and I can just do, maybe the league. We'll see what League of Human Dignity. And you can put in category services. I'll show you that in a little bit, but let's just look at the league here. If we submit, it'll pull up all of the League of Human Dignities, or anything that has the word league in the agency name. And less is more, so if you know a little bit of the title, just put that in and it should pull it up. So now if we go back And we will go into the actual categories. Over here to the left is more information on services, so you can kind of see what we mean by different categories. I'm sure everybody has a different idea of what they mean by different categories. So we have it listed off here to the left. You can pick on whatever you want more information on. Let's say emergency relief. That's a big one we get. And there you can see we have crisis services, food, housing, rent, transportation emergencies, utilities. So there's quite a list there. You can see employment, job placement, self-employment. So it kind of gives you an example if you're not quite sure what might be under a certain category. So let's say if we put in, like I said, the emergency relief is a big one, so we'll do that. And it'll pull up the services. We will go to utilities. Now you can select ages if that's appropriate for what you're looking for. A lot of times it doesn't matter, but it is there. The type of disability, and then you can put in the city. We'll just do Omaha. And then it'll automatically pull up the county then. Also, there is a place where you can just put in the agency city here. When we put in the city up top, it'll bring up any agencies that would serve the Omaha area, whether it's in Omaha or not. Some people just want to know what's in Omaha. So in that case, you would just put in the agency city on the bottom here. And then you can select languages if you need that. But if not, you can just submit. And then it'll pull up some agencies that might help them with their utility costs, of course, depending on their eligibility and that. They can actually click on whatever agency they might be interested in and see some more information on what's available, their address there, the basic description, hours. And as you scroll down, the different services they might help with, etc. So now if we go back, if a client is looking at this maybe at the library and they want to take it with them and they don't want to write it all down or they don't have the time, they can just click on this box to the left on whatever they think might be interesting or they want to try later. And then they can actually save those agencies. And then if we see the saved agencies, this is what they can print out and take with them. And if they have another category that they're interested in finding more information about, they can do that, and it'll separate it out for them. So it's kind of nice they can take that with them if they're somewhere other than home. Now, let's see. So that's kind of how the website works. I know it's kind of nice to see how something works. You feel a little more comfortable using it. And I can show you, let's see, I know the new Access Nebraska information is coming out, so I can show you too the information we have on that. The Access Nebraska Economic Assistance number and then the Access Nebraska Medicaid number. So how they have two different numbers now, and people can look that up and then get the information they need. Let's see. Whoops, I'm still in the wrong way. So that's pretty much the information for the hotline, just that you can see how it works. Go in and use it. Give us a call anytime if you have questions, and we can try to find the resources too. But just so you know, it's out there. And then I'm going to touch briefly on the Client Assistance Program. And like I said, that's kind of the mother agency of the hotline. And it is a free service also that helps people that are working with Nebraska VR, Vocational Rehabilitation, the Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired, or any of the Centers for Independent Living. For those clients that are maybe having issues, concerns, not sure they're getting the services they need, they can sure give us a call, and they will get looked into, kind of see if the